Hello everyone, I am Jayaraj. Now we are going to analyze the sentiment data by using R programming. Now my teammate will going to explain it.
Okay, I'm Chanamal Devi. Let's go into it. I'm taking sentiment dataset for the final assignments of data analytics using R. It consists of emojis, S writer, S reader, standard deviation count, description. In description, we have the types of emojis and it includes difference. Okay, let's move to R Studio. Okay, for data manipulation, we are importing dplyr library. Then I'm importing the sentiment dataset. View data. It views the data in R Studio. Here we have. Then summary of data. It gives the summary which shows the mean, first quartile, median, maximum, etc. for all variables. Then n row. It shows the number of rows in the data, and n column, it shows the number of columns in data. Dimension, it gives the number of objects and variables, which means the number of rows and columns. And head shows the first 6 rows of the data, and tail shows the last 6 rows of the data. Row names gives the names of the objects, which means the names of rows, and column names gives the names of columns. Okay, now I'm including the column named sentiment. So data $sentiment NA, run data. Here the sentiment column is added, and for removing the 8th column and the first column, I'm using this code. While running this, the first column and the 8th column are removed from this data. Then in the sentiment column, I'm describing the blue heart, pouting face, kissing face as love, and dancing woman, musical note, person rising called happy. Likewise, I differentiated the sentiment columns with data as love, happy, aggressive, sad, encouraging, and party. While running these codes, we can see the sentiment column filled with these variables. Then we are going to the visualization parts, so that we are importing libraries called ggplot2, chorgram, and chorplot. Chorgram and chorplot for finding the correlation between the variables. Then db aggregate data 2:5. 2:5 describes the column and lists data sentiment, which means while running this, we can see the table as mean of every column. Summary of this gives the summary as like we look first Then using DB dataset, I'm doing a bar graph with group 1. Group 1 describes the sentiment datas, and I'm using S-writer for y-axis, and I'm using geom bar for bar graph and stat as identity. I'm giving title like DG title, sentiment analysis overriders, and I'm giving X label as sentiment and Y label as writers. While running this, we can see the bar graph in this area, which means the usage of happy is the highest and the least used is aggressive one. Next, I'm doing a box plot with data set and x-axis with sentiment and y-axis with S-writer. While running this, we can see the box plot. We can see the highest ranges for love and the lowest ranges for sad. Next, I'm taking y-axis with S-reader. Here we can see the box plot with sentiment as x-axis and readers as y-axis, and we can also see here is the highest one is love and the saddest one is lowest one is sad. Next, I am doing y-axis with count. Here we can see the encouraging emojis are highly used. Next, for finding correlation between these variables, I am using this call variable and supply of function, and I am taking data and is numeric. It converts characters as numerical variables. While running this, we can see the correlation between these ones. I am adding the method as number and type as upper so that we can see the correlation graph as numbers. Here we can conclude that the correlation between S reader and S writer has the highest value. Then, to find regression between these variables, ggplot as data. I am taking data as an aesthetics writer and counts. Geom point. I'm taking sentiment column as geom point, which gives the sentiment data as points and size 3 and alpha 0.8. geom smooth, color sentiment, fill equal to sentiment, and method I choose LM and full range true. Facet wrap sentiment and theme dark. GG title I gave scatterplot of counts by writers. We can see the graph here, from which we can see the highest regression on love, party, and in happy we can see the scatter of this mood. Then I'm taking S reader as x-axis and same code. Here we can see this has the most points, encouraging. Then x-axis as SD. Here we can see encouraging and love has the most points. And I'm going with box plot with x-axis writer, y-axis as sentiment, and color with x-axis. In that I'm adding S reader as point. So I'm adding geom point, aesthetic color S reader. I'm adding size and alpha as 2 and 0.5 respectively. I'm giving GG title as sentiment analysis over reader and writer, and quad flip. While running this, we can see the graph as this. Dark blue color describes minus 0.2, and while seeing light blue color describes 0.6. In happy, love, and party, we can see 0.6 the highest points, and 0.2 are in sad. And aggressive, we can see only 2 points in this area. The same, using those same variables, I am creating bar graph. Here, happy, love, and party have the most emojis, and sad, encouraging or moderate, and least used is aggressive. Now I'm creating another one column named emoji usage and filling with NA. Now running this command, we can see the data set with a new column named emoji usage, and data $emoji usage, which data sentiment in C, happy, love, and party, going to the category as highly used, and sad and encouraging are going to the category as moderately used. Using this, I am defining the category. Aggressive goes to the least used. Now, by running these 3 commands, we can see the data set filled with these categories in the emoji usage column. Now, we can conclude the usage of emojis by writers and readers, and the counts, which is highly and moderately and least used by these analysis. Thank you.